All right, hi, I'm Justin Gary, CEO of Stoneblade Entertainment and the lead designer of Ascension, and I'm very excited to talk to you about Ascension Legends. So like every Ascension set, you start the game with a basic deck of cards, including 2 militia and 8 apprentices. Apprentices give you runes that let you buy more cards for your deck. Militia gives you power that lets you defeat monsters. Ascension was the very first deck building game to ever introduce the idea of a changing center row of 6 cards. So you'll deal out 6 cards from the deck that are all unique to this game, and you'll be able to use the cards from your hand to buy them and improve your deck, or to kill the monsters, which lets you earn these honor beads, which is actually victory points for how you win the game. So that's true for every Ascension set. It's true for Ascension Legends. Ascension Legends is standalone, can be played 1 to 4 players all by itself, or it can be shuffled in with any other Ascension deck to be able to enhance your game and create more variety for play. But let's talk about what's unique to Ascension Legends and what's really brought this game to life and why we're so excited about it. The first thing I want to talk about is the Legendary track. The Legendary track is probably the biggest new mechanic that we've introduced. We've brought in legendary characters from the history of the game, so if you're a fan of Ascension, you'll recognize characters like Master Dartha, Naka, Kor, etc. And each one of those gives you a special boon when you earn enough renown with those characters. Now, there are different types of legends that can show up, so you can actually swap them out, which totally changes your gameplay. The way you move up the Legendary track is every time you acquire a card of a certain faction, you'll move up that track 1 space. Every time you hit one of these major division points on the board, 3, 6, and 9, you'll get the boon from that particular legend. So in this case, Master Dartha, you'll be able to draw an extra card. You can use that anytime during your turn, so it's a strategic choice when you want to activate it. If you can make it all the way up to slot 12, the very top of the Legendary track, then you become a legend yourself, and you can acquire or defeat a card of that faction once every turn completely for free. This is kind of a dominant power, so the game ends pretty quickly once that starts to happen. So in addition to the Legendary track, which is a really great mechanic because it works with any given set, right? Every set has different factions, so it shuffles in super well. We actually introduced a few other mechanics, and we brought back some fan favorites that play really well with this set. First, let's talk about the chrome circle here. These are the multi-faction cards. Multi-faction cards are some of the most popular cards that we had in the history of the game. They actually give you abilities that fit with both of the different factions of the card. And because the Legendary track cares about what factions you acquire, acquiring a card like this would actually let you move up 2 tracks at the same time. So they're intrinsically more powerful in this game. In addition, several of the cards have a specific threshold power. So for example, this card here, if you play it and you have at least 3 in its appropriate faction, so if you're at least 3 up along the Legendary track in Mechana, you also get that bonus. So the cards just become more powerful, creating more texture to the board and more interesting breakpoints for the different players. We also have a really cool new mechanic, which are these emissary cards. Emissary cards will let you move up multiple spaces along the same track, so they can really help you focus on trying to get to legendary status. And they use a new twist on our Unite mechanic that lets them become more powerful when you play them together. So in previous Ascension sets, we've had Unite cards that care about factions. So if you play 2 cards of the same faction, they trigger. Unite emissaries care about playing other emissary cards. So if you play multiple emissary cards, they'll trigger their abilities, and there's even one emissary that lets you win the game if you can play an emissary of each faction. So it's a really fun alternate victory condition. It's only the 2nd time we've ever done an alternate victory condition in Ascension. And last but not least, we have the return of factioned monsters. And faction monsters can actually, not only when you defeat them, you earn honor, just like with a regular monster, but it also lets you move up the Legendary track. And these are a specific variant of those called the Remnants. Remnants are monsters that used to be a part of a faction and have been corrupted over time. And so you get a reward for defeating them, but if you can defeat them and use one of the cards of their original faction, you'll get an additional bonus, which can be completely changing of the game. It's another good way to make faction really matter in this set. So that gives you a highlight of what's really new. Of course, the entire center deck is all new cards. We've got a lot of great designs, a lot of things that work together, including a lot of really cool promo cards and custom ways to sort of go through the history of Ascension. We're very close to our 15-year anniversary, which is crazy to think about. I'm very honored to get to be able to make this game. This is the first new expansion we've done in 3 years, and we put a lot of design, a lot of love into this, and so I'm excited to have you as part of this new campaign.